Gosh, this is oh, and plus here we go. We're live, but the doggone machine is going slow on me. All right, let's go. Ignore all this because I'm gonna cut all this out. We going live now. Welcome to another edition of the Man Cave, where we give our opinion on just about everything. Joining us today for this finale of the differences between the mindsets of men and women are two lovely ladies that's going to be representing the ladies. First off, if y'all know her, she's almost a regular on the Man Cave. She got 1,000 questions that she ain't even get to ask the last 2 times. And that's Miss Nay.
Hey everybody, hello.
We got to get rid of her ass. I'm tell you that right now.
You gonna
And
cry when
next-
I'm gone?
Next is a newcomer to the show. I came across her by her podcast called The Comfy Couch, which is crazy interesting. And I love to see that show. I'm usually tuning in the rebroadcast, but I can't catch it live. But I'm gonna catch it live one of these days. Everybody say hello to Miss Nicole.
Hello,
Oh, thank you so much for having me, guys.
No problem. Welcome to the I would say the show, but you tell me what you think afterwards.
Okay.
And I got to introduce the usual cast of characters. Brother Kelly got a lot of stuff on his mind right now, so he got to deal with that. He ain't gonna join us today. Next is the conscience, the guy who tell us if we going too far right or too far left. We call him the defense attorney because he always got our backs. My cousin, Brother Damon, is in the house.
Hey,
What's happening? What's happening?
And last, certainly not least, the voice, the Flavor Flav of our group.
Yeah, boy.
The dude that don't have he don't lock his phone, but he do lock and load. Brother Art is in the house.
Hey,
I ain't playing with y'all niggas tonight.
yes, you are.
Nicole, that's not his real name. His name is Art, but you know he got different names every time he come on the show.
I ain't playing with y'all niggas tonight.
At the very least, you will be entertained by this brother.
You ain't lying.
All right, so I'm not even gonna show a video this time. We're gonna start off jumping right into this situation. We're talking about the mindsets of women, the mindsets of men, and when men see the different mindsets of women, we want the ladies to explain why we running into this and how come we can't understand it, and vice versa. So we got questions from women, we got questions from the brothers. Everybody who's been watching the show, they know what the deal is, so we they will just follow along. All right, so first question, ladies first, because the ladies went first in the first one, we went first in the second one. Here's the third one. What you got, ladies? Well, let's do this. Miss Nicole, you the visitor, you the first timer.
Yes.
You go first with the first question.
All right. So my first question is, why do men stay friends with their exes? I noticed that a lot of guys, keep that going. If you're not together and you're in a serious relationship with someone or you're married, what's the real reason that you need to stay friends with your exes, especially the ones you have no kids with?
I'm gonna have to type that answer. I'm gonna tell you this flat out. You're gonna type that answer there.
Okay, well, let's look at it like this. That has a spectrum of answers. you got guys who don't take their committed relationship seriously, so they just hold a line to some old stuff. And even that has a variant of reasons. You could have had one guy could be married and is not real committed to the relationship because this ex was so easy. And you get mad at this woman that you're with, you know you can go back to this ex, get your ego stroked, whatever you need, because she, for whatever reason, low self-esteem or whatever, is welcoming you back. To answer your question, Nicole, there's no reason to even connect with an ex. That's why it's ex. There's really no reason. So any excuse a guy would give you is null and void and immature. So there's no real reason. That's a valid question. And in my opinion, brothers ain't got no reasons.
Well, Aaron, what if y'all were childhood friends, like you known this woman for 20, 30 years? You gonna stop being a friend with this ex because you married now?
Yep. Because my wife is numero uno. Ooh. That's it. Because if she did the same thing, I got an issue.
Oh, okay now.
Yeah. I got an issue with that if she does the same thing. Now
let me say something.
Oh, heck. This is when the show go down.
You shut your ass up. Now, I'll say this. It depends on what you mean by still being friends. Mm-hmm. Are y'all doing friendly shit? Or it's just if you see the motherfucker at the gas station, it's like, hey.
We talk about we talk about
keeping contact, still text, still call, all that.
On a regular, like
so that's not friendships. That's not being a friend. Because Hightower is my friend. I only call him when I need something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't call him for shit else. Like, hey, what you been doing today? I don't do that.
Yes, he does.
Well, sometimes, because you know what I'm saying. But like, there's women who I went to high school with. They still my friends.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? Cause I grew up with them.
But wait. Her question was
the ex.
The ex. You have to incorporate that X factor in it.
Oh, X thing. Oh.
Yeah. Where were you when she asked the question?
Well, man, she was kind of talking about some other shit too. I was leaning on the other side of the shit. Okay, that's all I was doing.
I.e., I wasn't.
But if it's your ex, I mean, it ain't nothing to talk about. And even if y'all was like
all them female friends you got, you were never sexual with any of them.
No.
Never thought about it.
Hell no.
Okay. How about? So both of y'all so far are saying there's no reason to maintain like a regular friendship with an ex.
Well, see, again, we got to define what that means to maintain a friendship. If you friends, you friends. It's not really nothing you got to do. This is why I ain't got to call Hightower every 5 minutes.
But wait a minute. Okay, so Nay said texting, calling, communication when you got another woman. Because you're really setting yourself up for failure, man. There's only one queen.
That's called creeping. That's what that is.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. There's really no reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ex, though. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I have to disagree.
Oh!
Me and my ex-husband has been divorced since 2012. But we're friends. But we have a child. So that's different.
Right.
But what do y'all do?
Though, and
y'all hang out.
You talking about an ex-husband you got history with, you got all that type of stuff with. This was the guy you were
that's different.
Yeah, that's a different ball game that you can say you can be cordial, plus you have a child. That's a different ball game. If it's your woman and you dealing with an ex-woman, there's a reason you put EX in front of it. What in the blue hell you want to keep talking to about?
Blue hell.
I mean, you left her and wait. You left her.
Rock would say when he was wrestling, what in the blue? Ain't no need. If there's no there's no child involved or anything of that nature, she an ex or he an ex for a reason. You
Yeah.
couldn't get along together when you were
So
together.
if you got 5 ex baby mamas, it's okay to be friends with all of them.
You have to stay in contact with them. Yeah, you want to be friends if you don't want to go in that court system.
Well,
So the men who do choose to still keep them as an ex, is it because, like Aaron was saying, maybe sometimes they want to go back to them if
Yeah,
things
it's an
don't
ego
work out?
stroke. I agree wholeheartedly with everything Aaron said. He nailed it because contrary. I mean, I know y'all think that, but men like that ego stroke. And if there's a woman on the side that is stroke his ego, he gonna listen unless he just, he got his priorities right, and the only woman he need to stroke his ego is his wife.
yeah.
Other than that, yeah, you gonna keep the woman that's stroking your ego, because when your wife don't do it, she will. But in the sense of being with that one woman that you put the ring on her finger, man, it shouldn't be no other woman. It shouldn't be.
It can't. It
Yeah.
can't be, because if you are with a woman for long enough, you will glean that women don't share their space with nobody.
Not at all.
So you might as well get that through your head. So any guy that's got even in the Bible, Solomon had over 1,000 women, and it was a woman that took him down. So eventually you're gonna have to pick and say you number one, because they're gonna make you. So why even set yourself up by having somebody else?
You can't use Solomon. I mean, because he has so much bread. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, you can use a woman.
You can't use
so
he was the king, man. He was the king of the nation. He was the richest man on the planet. I mean,
a woman took him down. Okay, so look.
Well, shit. I mean,
our next question is from the brothers. I got this question, all right? And this question is one that I just came up with the other day talking to one of my friends. How come, and if this ain't you, just try to answer for somebody who would. How come women won't call their mother-in-law's mom nowadays? I was told by my friend that she won't call her spouse's mom because mom is reserved for her mom. And I told her, well, wait a minute. This woman gave birth to your spouse, and when y'all got married, y'all won. So how come we just can't have two mamas and give them both the same title?
And I'll answer for people who because I call my ex-mother-in-law mom.
Mm-hmm.
So it must be a thing of how you feel about that person. Because mom to me is a term of endearment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's somebody you love. So if you don't really care for your mother-in-law, maybe you don't want to call her mom. Because what else you gonna call her by her first name?
I don't know. She told me that she would respect her, she'd treat her like her own mom, but she just wouldn't call her mom.
Oh, I think that's more like of a cultural or age type thing. I think people within a certain age group that showed respect. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, young people calling all the grown-ups by their first name. So it's like totally different nowadays, I think. Mm-hmm. So I think it depends again on the age of the person and culturally. Some cultures are very much family oriented and like everybody's auntie, cousin, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then other cultures, they're not like that. So I think that could be the difference. So it might not be disrespect or that she doesn't have love. I think those other things could be factors.
Okay. Well,
what is that?
Bride and groom.
What you doing, Nate?
I went to a wedding yesterday. These were the favorites.
Oh, that's cute.
All right, so let me read some of these comments. Keela B from the All the Way There podcast said, a child is the reason for communication with an ex. And I'm assuming she's saying only is the reason for. Right. Chris Tucker says there is no reason. And Keela B says definitely cutting off an ex if I'm married. Mm-hmm. Chris said the only way you should communicate with an ex is if she is your baby mama. I hear you. Misha says all communication should be over with your ex unless you have kids together. Are we seeing a theme here?
Exactly.
And then, this is my friend Sheila. Sheila says sometimes you're better friends than lovers. Ah, that's right. I believe that too.
I believe that
Sheila
too.
says they are definitely keeping the door open to stay friends with an ex. Yeah, when they do immature stuff like that. It depends on the relationship with the mother for me. Now we on the okay, so that brings in a new perspective. If you don't like her, then it is kind of hard to call her mom. So anyway, she said she would call her Mrs. whatever her name is. Adrian Williams said, I don't call my mother-in-law mom, but I respect her and I will do anything for her. Okay, so Miss Adrian, how come you won't call your mother-in-law mom? I mean, what's the deal? What is the hesitation?
And that's my friend Adrian. What you call her, Adrian?
Yeah. What you
Like
call her, Adrian? Write it in the
Louise or
comments. You gonna call my mama? Okay, let me. So the next questions from the ladies. Go ahead, Nate.
and actually this one sort of ties into our first question. From a male perspective, can you truly be a best friend to a female without it turning sexual?
Ooh.
Yeah, I can.
Wait. Okay. So tell me my situation. Am I married? Am I in a committed relationship?
Yes.
Can I still stay friends with my best friend?
Mm-hmm.
Only if my wife gets along with her. Only if my wife knows her and trusts her. And I trust totally my wife's opinion of that because y'all got that radar.
Ooh,
Y'all
yes,
can
we
pick
do.
stuff up. Oh, she like you. I'm like,
Damn,
man, I've
Nicole.
known her since the 7th grade. She don't like me. Oh, she like you. But I have to fall into that because if the tables are turned and I can tell when a dude is pushing up on her, I'm gonna want her to believe me.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For real.
So what about you guys, the rest of y'all? Y'all agree or not?
If you gonna be best friends with, okay. If
Well,
I
I
know,
already got 100 friends.
if I've known a woman, let's say 15 years before I know my wife, and I meet my wife, if this woman is my best friend, she's gonna meet my wife when she's my girlfriend.
Mm. Mm.
So once my wife knows her as my girlfriend and she sees what's going on, and I married this woman and she like, yeah, she cool with this and that, then it's okay. But if my wife has an issue and she see, like Aaron say, that radar come up, I gotta fall back.
Ooh. You gonna drop the girl totally?
Huh?
You gonna drop her totally? Like done?
I said this before, I say it again. God, my wife, family, and everybody else.
That's the order.
I don't have no
That's the
choice
order.
but to drop that woman if I want to keep my marriage.
Yep. And
But
you
that
want-
your wife may just not want any women in your life.
I have to respect that.
you do.
Ooh.
At the end of the day, if I tell her I don't want no men in her life, she got to do the exact same thing.
Ooh.
Cacao.
So
Okay.
if you, that's the thing with being married. I had to learn all this the hard way. When you when you marry and your wife has an issue with it and you hold on because you like, this my friend, why you acting like this and that? That causes confusion, that drops the trust level, that does everything to a woman. And when you do that to a woman, it's over.
It is.
You know how long it's gonna take you to build that trust?
Mm-hmm.
When a woman loves, she loves hard. I remember that R. Kelly song, when she loved hard. And when she loved hard and she feels disrespected or not loved, and she turned that love off, good luck trying to win it back to what she was.
Right. Right. So I get that. I totally get that. That is definitely a great answer. Did we answer your question?
I get that too to a certain degree.
Miss Nate, what's the degree? What you want?
All right, let me talk. Wife comes first. But what about her trusting you?
What you mean?
So you saying that you
Her radar may come up, but you know in your heart it's just a friendship. So
your wife is not going against the trust in you, she going against the trust in the woman that's your friend.
Right.
but
It has
she's
nothing to
married
do
to
with
you.
it has nothing to do with the husband because she know the husband. She probably trusts her husband to the point he never do nothing. She don't trust the woman,
So the
and
woman
she
can
rather have
call
the
the
woman
husband
out of.
all she wants.
She rather
If
have
the
the woman not
husband
be
ain't
involved.
with it, I mean,
So you gonna keep because you trust your husband and you know good and well this you done picked up a sign that this woman is trying to get your husband. You trust your husband, but you gonna let this snake keep biting and shooting venom in him to seduce him, or you gonna get rid of her and be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you trust your husband, but you don't trust the woman. And the woman is the bigger problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. You have to get rid of you don't want what can break your trust in your relationship. You
Mm-hmm.
trust
I mean,
your
I get
husband.
that.
You don't have a lot of trust in this woman. Get rid of the woman. Don't give her more and more chances to rap your husband.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make sense.
It don't, especially if you value your marriage or your
But
long-term.
okay. Next question.
You gonna argue this when I understand where you're coming from. The problem is you trust your husband. You know how many women trust their husband and they still end up getting in a quote entanglement because they kept the woman around?
Mm-hmm.
The woman had ulterior motives. Your husband initially didn't. So what happened is you getting your husband riled up and you keep doing this, doing that. You literally pushing the woman into so she can be the one, oh, your wife don't trust me around you. And then she planting seeds in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
No,
you
what
can
I'm saying is, what if your wife's intuition is wrong?
9 times out
What
of
if
10,
it's something else that's driving her to say, I don't want this woman in your life? That's
But
where I'm coming from.
even if she wrong, Nay, I have to honor that because I want harmony in my home.
right, and peace.
I gotta have that.
The worst thing you can do to a man is take his peace.
Yeah.
Taking his peace is the absolute worst thing you can do.
And here's another thing about a guy. A guy feels like I go out and I fight the dragon every day. When I come home, I got to have peace.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So if I'm out there slaying a dragon, but I got this woman and I'm hanging around, and my woman keeps saying she ain't no good, but oh girl, she ain't nothing. The peace is about to get out the house.
Go on, yeah.
Because your wife is gonna be like a scratched record. She gonna be right there until you fix the scratch in the record.
Yep.
And I get that, and I understand totally where you guys are coming from. But I'm also just thinking, I've had a friend, I'm just using me as an example. I've had a male friend since we were 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to give him up after 55 years.
What?
I mean,
Listen to this.
Friendships are loyal to me, and I'm just
listen to this, Nate.
But okay,
I have a hard time with that.
What do you mean? What do you mean by
real
giving him up? Like, what do you mean giving him up? Like, oh, I can't have
well,
you
I
no
can't
more.
talk to him anymore.
I mean, but you're supposed to be moving on to something bigger and more important. So some shit got to move to the side. You know what I'm saying? It's just when you growing up in life, some shit just got to move to the side. You don't keep the same friends you had in high school. You know what I'm saying? So if you moving up in life, then some shit got to just fall to the wayside. And whoever that person is should understand, like, look, they moving on to a different position in their life. I'm still right here. I need to stay in my place.
Yeah. But
and if you're a real friend, he'll respect that.
For real.
If you're a real friend,
you don't respect me saying we can't be friends no more.
Hey, listen to the point, Ms. Nay.
No, I'm not.
You taking it way left. If this guy that you done known for 55 years
ain't never tried nothing.
Okay, and your husband is saying, I'm not cool with that. If he your friend and he know you got a husband and he know what it's like to be a husband, he'll say, hey,
I'll fall back.
Because if it was me, I won't want no confusion in my household either. If he your real friend.
Okay, let me ask a question. I gotta ask this question. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I gotta know this. I gotta know this. What type of friend? How can I say this? A guy that's 55 years old. If he's gonna have an issue with you getting married, That's kind of what it sounds like.
No,
Are
he
you
don't
worried,
have an
are you
issue
worried about
with me
his
getting married.
feelings? Huh?
No.
Are you worried about his feelings? Like your friend's feelings? Like, oh, he might not like me no more or something? Or...
No, I'm worried about the relationship that we built over 55 years going to the wayside because my husband feels that he want to try something with me.
But why do you need another relationship? You got a husband to deal with.
Okay. So
You
when you
can't
get
have
married,
because you
you
keep
can
saying
have any
relationship.
friendships of the
Hey,
person of opposite sex.
Miss
Is that
Nay,
what we're saying here?
No, that's not what
no,
we're saying. And this is what I
Okay.
was trying to interject. In that situation, Miss Name, when you got somebody that's been in your life for 55 years, I want to be friends with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would play that. I wouldn't say I don't want him around you. I want to be with him because I need to feel him out. And if he feels like the guy he's non-threatening, he ain't never tried nothing on you, he ain't always around, he's around when he's supposed to be around, then I ain't got no problem with the dude. Yeah, I
Miss
mean,
Nay,
you
but
can
see,
have him a friend.
because different strokes for different folks. Because if there's a guy that you've known for 55 years, and I decide I want to marry you, and this dude, regardless to whether he's around or not, and he calling you more than I think he need to be calling you, that's a problem. 55 years or not. You should honor what I'm saying, just like I will honor you. You wouldn't want no woman that I've known 60 years calling me more than you call me.
Mhm.
Don't act like you would.
I mean,
That's right. So what if there's a friendship and he known you 50 some years, he should know that you happily married and he need to fall back and find him a wife.
I
That's
did
all
fall
I'm
back.
saying.
I get
That's all I'm
that.
saying. You don't have,
Yeah.
if he your friend, he wouldn't cut you completely off. He will
And look, and again, you don't have no time to have no relationship with him because you married. What time do you have to have a relationship? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I got some other shit to do now, so I'll holler at you. You know what I'm saying? And go on about your business.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what
not saying it's a talk everyday thing, but I'm just saying the way you guys were saying just several times total.
Well, see, like I said before, and like I'm gonna say it again, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's suspect, as far as I'm concerned. I don't give a hell who you is, who you know, how close you is with such and such, and all that. No,
like
I
that.
don't trust you. You can get the hell out. I don't want to see you around here. No, I don't know. Everybody's suspect, for that.
And that's how most men think.
But the understanding was that if I suspect this guy likes you, my radar picks that up, then we eliminate this dude.
Right. Right.
But any other thing, I want to feel him out myself to see if he should be around. Because if he your friend for 55 years, he gonna be my friend for 55 years. You know.
Yeah, see, I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know. I had to
No,
fight that nigga first or something.
Yeah,
You know
well, that's what I'm saying. That you need to
Ain't
fill
nothing
him
wrong
out.
with filling them out. I agree with Cuz 100%. Ain't nothing wrong with filling somebody out. The problem is when I fill them out and
you
I
don't
express to you, there's an issue.
Yeah, then he gotta
be
go.
no argument
Right.
about it. It should be okay. Let's let's have a sit down with him. Blah blah blah. And if he's your friend for over 5 decades, he'll say, "Excuse me." He'll say, "Okay, no problem." You know what I'm saying?
Or just go marry your best friend.
Oh, that's a okay. So look, one last thing about that's what Keela B just said. Whenever he's around, I'm around. I'm not leaving my wife with. I don't care how long you've been around. Just, hey, man, come in. I'm home for the day. You can come over. So anyway, next question is from the brothers. Go ahead. What y'all got?
I got one. I got one.
Let me get mine lined up.
Do you ladies, do you look at a man differently if he makes less money than you? Do you treat him differently if he makes less money?
This is gonna cause a fight.
Is he still not the man of the house if he makes less than you?
Woo, we fighting now. The gloves is coming off.
I can answer for myself and a lot of the women I know that are my age, because that is a big issue going on, especially I notice, in the Black community. Like a lot of the women are making more than the guys. Like they're very educated. They have, well-paying jobs, and they're making more and more ambitious than the guys. I even did a couple episodes about that, modern women and what they want from a man, and they are absolutely okay with a man making less. I think it's more of the guy's issue sometimes of him feeling inferior or feeling like, okay, is he really the man because she has more of the money? So I can just speak personally. I do speak with people and they do make less than me, and I have no problem with that. That's my opinion. But I do want to ask when Miss Nay is done, if you guys feel that men overall feel, kind of an issue with that they equate whoever has the money to who has the power, so to speak.
I'll tell you right now, hell no. Hell
Well,
no. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if I had dirt in my shoes and that's all I had. I'll be damned. Go ahead, Nay. I'm sorry. I had to
Go
get
ahead,
that
Nay.
out.
Go ahead, Nay. What you think?
I totally agree. I find too with my friends that most of them make more than men. And there's no problem with it. You still the man of the house. It doesn't matter how much you make.
So what would you tell a woman who would say, he got to make more than me?
I do. I've heard that before. I've heard that before.
What would you say to a lady who believes that?
Well, then she's got to be what those men want. And they don't want to be honest, but guys, as I've seen, they have a lot more options. So do you look the way that those guys want? Do you act the way that they want? You have to become what they want if that's what you want. And they don't want someone who's super, from what I've seen, super aggressive, super combative, overweight, not submissive. Like, these are things they don't like typically. So it's fine if you want that from a man, but are you what they want? And if not, then become that or deal with someone who
got dirt in their shoes.
You know what's crazy is that a lot of what you're saying, Nicole, is so freaking spot on. You have a lot of the women that make that, and I'm speaking on what I see from certain friends and they friends, and quite frankly, what I just see. You got a lot of women that make good money, really good money, and then you got some guys that make good money, but it may not be as much as they woman. But then the woman seems to think, because I make the money, I pay the cost to be the boss, I'm the boss. And that's not how it works. If you sitting here throwing shade at lack of money, but then get mad when he call you something that you're not to him, I don't need you no way. This and that. Your nerves can't get busted because you wearing fake hair and he like long hair, but he dealt with you because he loved you. You see what I'm saying? But then when the bills come up, I'm always the one that got to put in the bill, this, and that. Okay, we'll go on and pay him. I can get on. It ain't like I can't do it on my own. It's. I just think a lot of women need to slow down on the financials because it ain't just financials that make a relationship.
Got it all. Right.
Financials ain't the only thing to make a relationship. I ain't saying nothing to you about a lot of stuff, but you throwing in my face that I make less money than you. You know what I can do? I can take my $80,000 and go get with somebody just making $80,000, and we can be happy, and you can be miserable. Or get with somebody who's using you for your $120,000, and then you feel stupid. That's the issue I have with a lot of women nowadays, because now they feel that because I'm making this money and I'm doing this and you make nothing compared to what I make, I can treat you how I want to treat you. No, it don't work that way. You don't want a man beating you for no apparent reason. Don't browbeat me because you making more money than me.
Ooh.
All right. So Adrian responded that she called her mother-in-law Jessie. So her first name, that's what she said. So and so Miss Keela B said, I have a male best friend since kindergarten, going back to the other question, and have never been attracted to him. But my husband is my number one best friend. he has to fall back. Chris, 9 times out of 10, you will catch feelings with your best friend because she knows everything about you and you know everything about her. That's an open door. You're right.
Facts.
And Adrian ain't gonna drop the situation. She said, "My husband don't call my mama mom either." Well, if that works for y'all, that works.
That's why them niggas married.
Oh, so it's okay. So the next question is from the ladies. Go. I'm gonna have to get back.
And that's back to the Adrian. That's coming from somebody who's been married 25 years.
Well, that's what I said. If it works for them, it works for them. But for me, you gotta call my mama. And I know that sound bad, but for real. All right, next question from the ladies.
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Okay, perfect. Okay, y'all tell me, what is the difference between a wife and a girlfriend? Like, I noticed a lot of women are stuck like in the girlfriend category, and you know, they may be with a guy 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Like, what is the difference in a man's mind that gets you from the girlfriend to the wife category?
Well, you asked 2 questions. You asked what gets you from girlfriend to the wife, and then you asked what's the difference. Okay,
Yeah.
so the difference between a girlfriend and a wife is a ring. If I've given her a ring and she got on her finger, she's way more than a girlfriend. She got exclusive rights to everything, including my money, my body, my opinions, and she has influences on a lot of things. A girlfriend doesn't. A girlfriend can suggest, I mean, when you want to go to dinner here, well, let's go on vacation. Nah, let's not. Or, I have total veto power in a girlfriend, but you have only like 50% veto power in a marriage because you got to negotiate with this woman because you got to live with her. Now, what brings a woman from girlfriend to wife is how she helps me. In my opinion, how she helps. I have, if you can imagine, I have voids in my personality. I know you guys can't imagine that, but how she fills in my voids, and she makes me feel like, God, I can't do this without her. I need that insight that she has, and I need her around me all the time. That to me boosts her up. The couple that I think about is Damon and his wife. They play off each other all the time. I really like her. She comes from a real soft spiritual level, and she knows how to get right in between his ears and program him to pretty much the way she wants to program. But she does it so gentle. She does it really meek, and he responds to that because if you come at him real hard, he gonna come at you real hard. And that's why, it's so easy for Damon to close the door on any other kind of outside force because his wife is really helping him.
I like that. Fill your voice.
What make you pretty much summed it up real well there, cuz. That's real good. Well, here's what made, in my eyes, to me, what made my wife from girlfriend to fiance to wife. Yes, Aaron nailed it. The one thing that really did it for me though was her ability to be there even when I didn't want her to be there. Her undying care and love for me, even when I was in my mess and my mind and all that. Because she was the type of woman that she knew, okay, ladies know what they want. They look at a man, they know they want him. They got an idea who they want and what they want from them. It's up to us to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? To make them feel like that's the guy. You got a good woman or vice versa when they can show you that they're there for you even when you don't want them to be there or even when you feel like they shouldn't be there. That makes a spouse. a woman that can come behind you and be the ultimate help meet, yet be the strong backbone that you need when you come home or when you fighting at work or whatever you going through.
Mhm.
That's the woman you need.
Yes.
A man that can come and protect you no matter what, will die for you. That's the guy you, and he has to show it to you. And it ain't all about talk. Talk is cheap.
Yeah.
Faith without works is dead. Got to put some work in.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? There is a part of my wife to this day, through all that what she been through, she still shows nothing but undying love. And we've been married 21 years.
Oh,
So for me, even in my struggles and all that type of stuff, I knew I had to get this girl and get her before anybody else. Because if somebody else, they got a queen. She's a queen.
Mhm.
oh, that's so sweet.
She's a queen.
So, and also, like, a woman who could read you, like when you come home from work, she can just look at you and tell you he had a hard day. So all the stuff that I want to press him to do, I'm gonna put that on the back burner because he didn't have a hard day. Let me just make his coming home experience pleasant. But you got to have that forethought. You got to be thinking about that because some women don't think about that. When you see that man, well, how come you didn't take the garbage? This garbage has been sitting here. I'll be like, God, can we please?
Yeah. Well,
Then
that's
then you start drinking.
There's no helping that young man.
Then you start drinking weed. You like weed now?
No, actually, that would go back to a previous question and make that X look more appealing.
Ooh, come on.
But I got a simple answer, and you asked a good question. You know,
It was very good question.
like what's the line, right? What do you if a woman was trying to figure out, you know, how to be a wife, then what line do she need to cross to be that, right? And I'm just, and these guys already pretty much hit it, but I'm gonna just put it like kind of real simple, right? A girlfriend help you spend your money, a wife help you save it.
Boom.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I put it like that.
Wait, that came from Art.
Hey man, I'm gangster around here, boy.
Man,
No.
that's I'm finna make a monument to you and put that under the bottom.
Hey, look, I pose like this.
Oh Lord.
That was phenomenal, Art. Dang.
That wasn't nothing but straight truth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that simple.
You got a diamond buried under all that garbage. Okay, so look.
Hey man, you can kiss my ass, boy. I swear. You can kiss my ass. I ain't playing with y'all niggas tonight.
All right, hit us with a question, Art.
He wrote something down. I know he sent a million texts in that day. I'm waiting to see which one he gonna grab.
I came up with a whole bunch of them while I was in the bathroom earlier today.
Come on, keep that to yourself, boss.
Yeah, appreciate that.
I can't do that one. That's fucked up. Hold on. Give me a second. I know which one it is. I just got to find it, and I got to say it right. If I say it wrong, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, go on through all the ones you sent in the chat.
This is what I'm doing.
All of them was wrong. All right, you need some time, man, because we can go to the ladies.
Here we go. Oh.
There you go. He looking for the most sideways question he can find.
Hey, come on, man. We only gonna be on here for a few.
Oh, that's what you got to say?
Come on, bro.
All right. Why do men need to know how to satisfy a woman, and a woman don't need to know how to satisfy a man?
Are we speaking about sexually or just like in a relationship area?
Anyway, anyhow, any upside down freaky thing, whatever it is. Anyway, but mostly though, I'll kind of say it like this, because you know, you never hear women talk about what they know to do for a man. They always talk about what they want. I want a man that got this. I want him to do this. I want him to be like this. And well, what you gonna be to him? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
so
question.
That's my question.
That's a really good question.
Miss Nay, you want to go first, or you want me to go?
I can't answer it because I thought it was two ways: man satisfy woman, woman satisfy man.
Mhm.
I think in our society, I think it's been like the man does the chasing, right? And it's like this whole theme, like we're the prize, right? It's like you have to impress us, right? Just like in the wild, you see some of the animals, the peacock or whatever, like shows how they look, and then the woman is the one who has to choose them. It just
Mhm.
seems like we've been raised to feel that way. Like we are the prize, we have what you want, and
Mhm.
you have to show us why we should give it to you. But I
Mhm.
feel like nowadays things are changing where men are really waking up to this, like how you have that, what do you bring to the table talk and all that. So I
Mhm.
think things are
Mm.
changing. And I was going to ask a question about something similar to that as well. So that's a good point.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it's just because we've been trained like that. But I think a wise woman would try to do that, you know, learn more about men, you know, what is it that they desire. But that's going to be my answer. It's just that that's how it's been society wise. That's how we've been trained.
Hey,
Mhm.
I got it.
that's a good answer.
And I got a quick follow-up question too. And I wanted to, this is just real kind of quick on the side, okay? And why do women always talk about being independent, but they always need help with shit? Can you explain that to me, please?
They need help with what?
All type of shit, man. Just the refrigerator too tall. Can you reach that for me, please? Just all type of shit.
But chivalry is never supposed to die.
I'm asking a question. I am not making a statement.
No, I'm answering your question. So if a guy says 203 ways to drive a man wild in bed,
You done read that book
ah,
15 times too, haven't you?
Miss Nay was like, this question don't
That's why
apply
your
to
hair
me.
over there curly right now.
Well, Miss Nay be on
I
it.
just thought it was appropriate with that question. Okay, go ahead.
Well, he asked, why do women always need help?
But talk about we independent.
Yeah. So, and I said that chivalry should never die. So if your wife needs something on top of the refrigerator, I mean, you got to be her superhero.
I'm not saying we shouldn't do what we supposed to do. I just want to know why y'all say one thing and then do something different. This is all I want to know.
You got to give
Oh
an example.
Lord, that's the bottom of it. Why are we so conflicted? We don't make any sense.
What are you? Are you in? Do you not need a nigga? Or do you need a nigga? I don't know. Tell me. What is it?
Oh Lord, we need y'all. We need y'all.
Yes,
Okay?
we do. Yes, we do.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Nicole, you brought up the the wildlife, how a male's supposed to do this and do that. But a black widow, a mate with somebody and then kill it and eat it.
Oh Lord.
That's why they call it a black widow spider.
Ooh.
And majority of in the animal kingdom, majority of females, they usually kill the male after they mate with them.
Ooh.
So, in other words, we can do everything we need. That don't mean y'all ain't gonna show up and do what y'all need to do.
Mm.
In other words, you might flip it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that go on that's supposed to be two-way street.
You're right. You're
Supposed
right.
to be, if I'm courting you and coming at you, you supposed to reciprocate.
Right.
Because then, at the end of the day, both of y'all will feel wanted. Both of y'all will feel like, okay, I know it's, it'll get to the point where you will know your man better than he know himself. I know my woman better than she know herself.
Right.
Well, you know what? Let me ask this question. This question is for
Lord.
Miss Nay, okay? Directly to Miss Nay. You got nice curls in your head, okay? And since you brought out your little red freaky book, I'm gonna ask you this question. All right. Why is it okay for a woman to tell a man no when it comes to sex? And a man can't tell a woman no.
A man can tell a woman no.
The man do want to know.
Tell a woman no, watch. She gonna be flipping couches and shit. Like, what? You went to somebody else?
Now, Ms. Nate, as much as I hate to say this, that young man brings up an excellent point.
Woo!
He brings up an excellent point. There's some women out there. If you tell that woman no, I'm tired or whatever it is. The first thing come out her mouth, well, who is she? Let me go through the phone. Where she at? But if you can tell us, I got a headache. I'm tired. I done watch the kids all day.
Because we know
I done cook. I done did all this. We both work. What's wrong with you? But when you ready, and we like, man, I'm tired. I done put in. Oh, you tired? You went tired when you was on the phone. I mean, I'm now that's a question. Now, inquiring minds want to know. I'm curious.
Now, a relationship is compromised. So there's going to be a lot of times you're going to do things that you don't want to do or that you don't feel like doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just want to hear an answer. That's
So you saying the man might have to get some sympathy coochie sometime? That's what you're saying?
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
You that man Mike, man.
I feel
We had
sorry
enough
for
to
this
do.
nigga. He just keep begging. I'm just gonna give it to him.
They say there's mercy hump. That's what she called it.
Mercy hump. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Mercy
Oh
hump.
man. Okay, so let me get to these comments. There's a whole bunch of them. We done left them behind.
Man, forget them people, man. We don't want to listen to what they got to say.
I don't even know where to start.
Don't even start.
I have been reading them.
You have?
Yeah, I've
Okay,
been
but
reading
I
them.
just want to give them some love.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I've been
And
saying they've been coming through with some good stuff.
Yeah, and Miss Adrian, we gonna have a conversation about this mama thing. Miss Adrian said, I've always made my home somewhere my husband always wants to come home to. Excellent. Okay, now
Wonderful,
we
wonderful.
cool, Miss Adrian. You ain't on my list no more. Chris said, my wife and I have been together for since we were 13 years old, and she only changed for the better. And we grew into husband and wife, been through trials and tribulations, had really bad times, and we still together, been married for 22 years.
Since they were 13 years old, ain't that like some child pornography, something going on with that? Since they were 13?
Wait, who was
Malvina,
that agree with me?
They gonna
Let's
flag
read
your
this
video.
one.
Stop playing art. They gonna flag the video.
right.
I'm just asking. I don't know what happened. I ain't never had none when I was 13, so I don't know.
Malvina says, pleasing each other is a must. She agrees with Miss Nay.
That's all she wanted to hear. Look at her. She danced. That's all she wanted to hear.
Miss Camila said, honor both friendship and relationships. Malvina said, men and women need each other.
Yeah.
We need y'all, Adrian says. Yeah. Miss Camila says, so after you fill them out and you don't feel anything, I don't get that one. Everybody agrees with Nay. Tell them, Nay. So, okay. So the next question is coming from the ladies.
How soon is too soon to move on to a new relationship once the other has ended?
I think the Bible say you're supposed to mourn for 7 years or something like that, and then you can jump back out there. I think it's like 7 years or something. You got to hold out. You got to go live with your daddy for a while, something, figure shit out again, and then you can get back out there.
That's his answer. I ain't got nothing to do with that young man.
I think it's something like that. I mean, I'll tell you this: if I died and my wife in a week was somewhere else, I would get up from the grave. I would get up.
So it's 7 years for us and 7 days for y'all. Is that what you're saying?
No. Like if my wife died, I don't think I could do anything. I think I'll just have to just cut it off. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Knock it off. You talking sideways now.
What? Well, I ain't gonna cut it off. I'm just saying. I
Right.
wouldn't
So
get
don't
out
say
there.
nothing like that.
I wouldn't go back out there though.
I don't.
I get married so quick.
It depends on the person. You know, me personally, I ain't trying to jump back in nothing that fast.
Yeah.
Because put it to you like this: if your spouse died and you immediately start going into looking for a relationship, I mean, I don't know. 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 I don't know I don't think I could do that because I've been with this woman, let's say 50, 40 years, and we end up, there's no way that she's not out of my heart. There's no way she's not out of my mind. Am I supposed to move on? Yes, I am supposed to move on. I have to give my heart, mind, and body and spirit time to heal. Because I've been with this woman, or you've been with that person for so long. My wife and I had a conversation. She was like, if I was to die first, I said, I'm good. I don't want to talk to nobody. It's going to take me a minute. I'm not trying to jump and get into a relationship. Not only do I'm mourning the death of my wife, I'm bringing in baggage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing in some stuff that I'm not completely over. So that's not fair to the woman I'm trying to start a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair to her. So I can't speak for myself, for my cousin Art. He already said he's gonna do some brutal things to himself. But he personally,
I'm gonna be so heartbroken. I'm just gonna fall out in the street. It's gonna be bad.
I can't move on from being with somebody I've been with for such a long period of time and give and then try to give another woman the best of me.
This is what I'm saying. I don't think that I could. I don't think I could have another wife.
Yeah,
it would probably just be some chick on the side, and then being had a wife, how empty that shit is. That's why I'm like, I just couldn't even get back out there. You know what I'm saying? I had to focus on some other shit, like start bodybuilding or some shit. I don't know.
With a cigarette. He gonna be lifting weights with a cigarette.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna be strong as hell. One arm gonna be strong as hell. I'm gonna be skinny as hell from the cigarette.
So for me, too soon is anytime you, like Damon said, I totally agree. You can't give your all to the next relationship. If you have been punched in the eye and you go into a new relationship and you see your new girl make a fist, and it makes you like, it's like you haven't healed yet.
You don't want to be no violent like that. No way.
It was just an example. An example, sir.
My bad.
Now, I have another question. I know it's not my turn.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, say what you got to say, Careless.
This is for the men. I'm trying to pose it. Would you say someone taught you how to love?
What's that again?
Or it just came naturally?
Say that one more time.
What was that?
Did someone teach you how to love, or it just came naturally?
It taught me how to love.
You learned that from your parents.
Okay.
You learned that watching your parents get down every day. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really a love. When you talk about being married, it's about being able to work together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you do love that person for who they are and maybe what they bring to the table as far as your emotions or whatever like that. But being a loving person comes from what you saw your parents do. And I guess you could say as far as, what you believe in as far as your faith or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To be able to deal with a person in a loving way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and then as far as being married, you kind of, some shit, but then you learn on the job too.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was just nuggets that my mom taught me, because I didn't grow up with my dad in the house. I knew who my dad was. I can contact him and talk to me anytime I want. It's just that they were divorced for the majority of my life. So my mother told me what women, how women receive love. And one of the things she told me was, you'll know how you're loving her by how she reciprocating to you. So if you're not loving her and she senses not 100%, then you're not gonna get 100%.
That's so true. That's so true.
They're reciprocators, and it's even physical. I heard a pastor say this. You give a woman a house, she'll make it a home. And that's just their nature to reciprocate. So it came from my mom. My mom really just dropped a lot of nuggets. And another thing she said was, a woman can take what you say, but you have to be careful how you say it, because that how you say it brings a brand new definition to what you said.
Watch your tone.
Yeah, art. so those little nuggets taught me how to love a woman. Now, I'm divorced. I've been divorced for some years, but my marriages have been long, like over a decade, and because I put the stuff in that my mom taught me. It was always outside influences that caused the divorce. It wasn't between me and her. It was just somebody else came in, did a third wheel thing. So, but that's how I learned how to love. It
It
was
was
my
taught to
mom.
me too. It was taught to me too. My
Yeah.
dad, he was a working guy. So he was the type of man that, and my cousin know my old dude. He was a real chill guy, and he showed his love and how to be loving in different ways as opposed to my mom. My mom was the one who, as a woman, she gave me ideas on how to treat a woman. But see, my mama was also a tomboy.
Mm.
So she gave pictures of love in a tough manner from a woman because she knew how to love, but she was just tough. She was a tomboy. She did all that type of stuff. My dad was a hardworking guy, showed me love in different ways. But when they got together, they knew that their kids was watching them. So they showed love, even though they had the arguments, this and that. They tried to show love and how it's supposed to be. Certain things I learned from my grandmother, who she was just a loving person. All she knew was love. Anybody that knew Marietta Randall knew she was a loving person. She
And
showed love.
she loved you with that foot too. She'll put it right
Yeah,
up.
she put the hole in your chest, but I mean, she definitely put the hole in your chest. That you knew.
I couldn't walk around with a hole in my chest and
Oh,
niggas be like, damn, man, what's wrong with your chest? You know, my mama love me,
Hey, let me
dog.
tell you something. She would give you the best tough love you could ever imagine. Let me explain what I mean. She would go slap off, but then hug you and kiss you and say, I love you.
Yeah.
That's just how she was. And you understood. Now, fortunately, she didn't have to punt me 40 yards. Thank God. The other ones, she booted them over the horizon a few times. She ain't have to do that to me. So I didn't have to receive that type of love from her.
Yeah.
You know, but I learned that the old movie Soul Food show you that one woman or that one person that just shows love no matter what.
Yeah.
And that was her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I learned love like that. And then getting into a marriage, I had to learn how to love my wife the way she deserved to be loved, because me personally, I didn't see it a whole lot because my dad, all he did was work. So I didn't really see it. I had to learn it on the job.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, whose question is it? The men or the women?
It's us.
Okay.
I got a good one, but now this is controversial.
Oh man, it wouldn't be you if it wasn't.
Oh, this one is gonna spark some fire and hit tonight. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Here we go. Here we go.
Get ready, all my black people here in the internet thing. We own the shit thing here.
Aaron, put your finger on the mute.
Right.
Get the bleep. Get the bleep, 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 bleep. Why can you slap a woman during sex and you can't slap her when she need it?
Oh, come on, man.
What?
Lord.
I told you this was gonna be a controversial question, mommy. I'm telling you now.
I cannot believe he asked this question.
Let the ladies answer. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, you gonna say go ahead to me, Miss Nick?
I mean, the question sound messed up, but there's layers to it now. Okay, it's layers to it. I know it sounds bad, but it's layers. Okay, but go ahead and see what you can do with that one.
Whew.
Come on,
man.
viewers, help us out.
Miss Williams, leave me alone, please. Please leave me alone.
I guess one thing would be consent, I guess.
We'll start with that. All right.
That's consent. Man,
They can't answer this.
I know, because let me just tell you something about the whole thing, right? Let me tell you something about the whole
Okay,
thing.
a slap
It's
between
all
sex
good.
is different from a slap. Just a slap. It's a different slap.
But let me
The
explain a little bit more,
tone
right?
is different.
Let me explain a little bit, right? Think about this, right? Think about this. It's okay to slap them when they enjoying themselves, right? But when it comes to correction, oh hell no. Do you feel me now? It's layers to the shit now. Come on, go ahead, Nicole. Go ahead, handle that one again. Go ahead. Let's see
Oh
what you
my
got.
goodness.
all I'm hearing, Art, again, is you telling women that we don't make any sense.
I'm not saying that. That came out your mouth.
Oh my
This
god.
the second question you asked as to why we do stuff that don't make sense.
I'm just curious because if
I'm
my
curious why
wife
you asked
knew,
this question.
if my wife knew I was angry at her and I slapped her on the ass, yeah, she'd have an issue.
Okay, it's intent, I guess. Intent. One is the intent is pleasure, and the other intent is
Just to
anger, I
fix
guess.
some shit.
I
Yeah,
think
to
that's
fix
the
some
best.
shit.
Mr. Cole, that's the best answer I've heard, and I think that's the one that make the most sense. It's
Yeah, we're gonna in the court of law. It's about intent, sir.
Right.
All right.
Right.
sweet.
Well,
God, this man asked the question.
here's my question to that. Who says you can physically correct your wife?
That was my question.
What was the question?
Who says you can physically correct your wife?
Who says you can physically please your wife with a slap?
The Bible says you can please your wife, but who says you can touch her in a correctional way like she's an underling?
Okay, let me ask the question differently then. When did the
For a
slap
child.
become sexual? Let me ask that question.
That's for the freaks. Woodwork.
y'all-
if y'all
freak.
I'm gonna tell you now. If y'all guys always trying to come up with shit, and we're just trying to please y'all,
See, and there go the freaky book right there.
All right, you are something special,
The
boy.
freaky book right there.
Boy, you are something special.
That's page 294.
She gave you the page number.
She say it brings arousal, huh? Okay then. Maybe the other slap is trying to arouse some other shit. You know what I'm saying? I won't say nothing else about it.
And
But
see,
then, I mean,
you done
as
got
we discussed in
my
prior
sister involved.
conversation, is your tone. A sexual slap is different from a disciplinary slap, which I don't understand why you would slap somebody
Mm-hmm.
to correct them.
You
Right.
beat your
You know, we
kids,
got
don't
an
you?
issue there.
All
Don't
right,
you
you
beat your
special,
kids?
bro.
But your wife is not your kids.
I'm just saying. I'm just talking shit. Don't worry about it. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
I have a question for the guys.
Yep.
What the women you've dealt with? What are women in the bedroom not doing that many guys wish they would?
Everything. Everything.
You know what? That's a question. That's a question that really depends on the man.
Oh, okay.
It depends on the man. Now, if you got some prostitute wanting nasty freak, Houdini freaks come out at night type dude, then he probably would want you to do all that. If you got a guy that, we know Gilligan, we see you pointing at yourself. If you got a guy that's like, like I said, it really depends on the man. Some men, they may just want you to be romantic. They may want you to, walk around in a little nightgown, or, surprise them when they come home. You cooking a number of little what you call little apron. Yeah, it depends on the guy. It depends. One man may want his wife to walk around the house, nothing but some shoes. It depends.
Some high top.
What John Witherspoon saying next Friday? He can't wait to see his wife naked. You know what I'm saying? It depends. It depends on the man. I can't really answer for all the men out there, but I will say this. I say about between 75 and 90% of them is like that young man with that Gilligan hat on.
Wow.
They like
Within reason.
They like
Within reason.
freaky women. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
And
I mean,
then-
you don't see the thing is you want to enjoy your wife fully, right? But you don't want to be like a real nasty motherfucker. I mean, you know, you can't go in the dookie shoot. You can't do all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's unsanitary.
Yeah, boy.
So you can't do no unsanitary things, but you can just you
Fair
can be
use, man. Fair
explorative as
use.
much as you want to. You see what I'm
Fair
saying?
use, man.
Y'all can learn each other's little this and that as much as y'all want to. You see what I'm saying? I mean, but yeah, it should be anything. If you go buy a swing, go get a swing and swing in there with your wife. You know what I'm
Now, they
saying?
did say in the Bible, the Lord did say a married bedroom is undefiled.
Undefiled, right? If you want to flip our little ass upside down and flip our
I didn't
ass
take it that
upside
far. Art.
down.
I was making a point, man.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's undefiled, so this dude here.
Yeah, because I'm asking because a lot of times we'll be like, oh, you know, he sucks or whatever, but I don't know if women are thinking, hey, I need to make sure I satisfy him. I don't hear a lot of guys complaining as much as a woman would if the guy sucked in bed. You know, like
Okay,
I don't
that's
hear
a whole different story. That's a whole different story because y'all got particular matters about y'all that some men just can't measure up to. Put it like
That's
that.
true too, though. That's true too. That's true too.
You know, and then at the same time, you know, y'all run the street so much, ain't nothing gonna fit it no more.
Oh,
At the same time.
Hey, cuz, move on, man.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Because
there's a lot of
he
different
gone,
factors.
man. He
There's a lot
gone,
of
Damon.
different factors,
Dude,
you know.
He
So
gone, man. He gone.
Go get you a
So-
cigar.
I'm just
This is
saying,
the
you maybe
opportune
do
time
like
I
some-
do want you to smoke.
do
Go
that
get
little
you a
Kegel
cigar.
stuff, the Kegel, maybe that can, you know, whatever. If there's an issue, get some
Alright.
Kegel going on or whatever. But I'm just saying, man. I mean, there's
Alright.
a lot of different factors because some men just don't really know how to have sex. They don't really
Alright.
know how to try and get in
Can
tune
I
with the
can I
woman.
ask you a favor, Art? Can you do me a big favor?
Huh.
Go get you a cigar. I need you
Okay,
to
so
smoke
look.
a cigar.
Look,
Mike.
so hit us with a question, Nate, because we gotta flush this last thing he said out our heads.
You ain't lying.
I ain't said nothing wrong.
You said something sideways.
We grown in here.
Oh God. Go ahead, Miss Nate.
Ms. Nay, you writing down questions?
I think I already asked this one, but I'm gonna ask again. What's the most important thing to you in a relationship? Since we're talking about sex and communication and what if you had to put the first thing, what would it be? What's the most important thing?
Respect.
Mhm.
Respect.
Yeah. Respect.
Yes.
Yeah, respect. Respect.
It would definitely be respect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it. I don't think we can.
Non-negotiable respect.
Oh, well, see, it's everything is negotiable in a marriage.
Not respect.
Well, I get that. I get that. But even okay, all right, I get what you're saying. But yeah, it would be respect.
Non-negotiable. It ain't a conversation.
What's the deal breaker for you?
Disrespect.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true, Miss Nate.
It's just that simple for men. It's just
Yep.
that simple.
That's
That's the
true.
rock everything fits on.
Yeah. Like
Everything fits on that.
here's an example. Back when I was married, we had our first child. Her mother thought that she could just come over anytime because she got her first grandchild. And so she came over to 8 something in the morning. And I'm like still in my drawers. Like, I mean, why are you knocking on the door? And not only is she knocking on the door, she got a string of friends with her. Come see my grandbaby. That's disrespectful to us. And you ain't called and said nothing. So
Yeah,
what
you can't do that.
yeah, so what caused us to have a rip is that she didn't like me telling her mother that. And I was like, well, okay, well, you should have told your mama that. I'm like, it's Saturday morning. I done worked all week. Again, I done fought the dragon. I gotta have peace in my home. And your mama just can't come over here just because she got her first grandchild.
Shoot,
Just
I
be
would
showing her friends.
have went down there and opened the door in my
In my
drawers.
drawers.
With the
That's what I
dragon
did.
out.
That's what I did, Art. I went and opened the door in my drawers. And her friends was like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm at home. I'm at home. You visiting?
without calling.
Now you hear you see the dragon. Are you happy now?
I'm just saying.
Because I know when I get up 7 o'clock in the morning, Lord have mercy, Jesus, Lord have
That's too much
mercy.
information, bro.
So yeah, it's disrespect, Miss Nay.
Dragon.
The
Disrespect.
disrespect. That example is really a good example because first of all, this is our home. I don't come over your house. I don't pop up without calling or asking, can I come over?
You're right.
Out of respect for your home. Just
Yeah.
because your first grandchild is here don't mean you can pop up at my house
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm laying down.
Yeah.
I can't. You can't do that. And if you can't honor that for me as my spouse, then we have an issue. That is disrespect.
Yeah, it's
That's
disrespect.
total disrespect. And if you don't correct the disrespect, that means that everything that I look at you different. I
Yeah.
look at you different now because now I'm gonna start questioning everything you do
Hell yeah.
when it comes to me and my respect.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I don't want to do that. Once again, Cuz said it best. I fight the dragon. I done slayed the dragon on many occasions. I want to come home and sit on my crown and be at peace.
Mm-hmm.
But if my helpmeet is a
Queen.
part of the war and chaos,
Boom.
we got a problem.
What he said. What he said.
She can't be a part of the chaos. She has to be the one that's a part. Help me. Help
Yes.
me.
Yes. She
with
should have.
my peace.
She should have went to the door and said, "Mama, now you know you shouldn't be over here now. You need to call and let us know,
Yeah.
and we need to agree." But I tell you what she did. Hey, Mom, come on in.
Right.
Come on
Come
in.
on in.
No. I not only see. I'm a real
Mm-mm.
I don't like a lot. I don't like people in my house. I just don't, unless I invited you in. But if I invite you in and you got somebody with you, all y'all stand outside. I'll be outside in a minute. Cause I got this thing about my house. My house has got to be where I live. Like
You ain't
it's
ever
where my
let me
peace
in this
reside.
damn house. I think I've been in your kitchen one time, and that when we was about to cook that chicken. That's the
Yeah.
only time I came in there.
And
I
I needed
respect
you.
that though. I do
I needed
respect
you
that.
to spice it up, and then after you spice it up, you was like, "Dude,
Put my ass out. No
Yeah.
bullshit.
I actually respect that though because your house is your kingdom and it needs to be protected at all times.
all time."
I respect that because
Period.
first of all, you don't want no spirits in your house that you done already kicked out.
Mhm.
Let's just be honest. You don't want all these spirits roaming in your domain, trying to take over your domain. I know we going spiritual, but it's just factual.
Mhm.
Number two, if you can't respect my house, then get the F out my house.
Yeah, definitely.
You
Ever
see what
since
I'm saying?
then,
And
ever
that
since then,
goes
she
to
called.
everybody. My family, your family, his
Yeah.
family.
And
That's
mama's got to
I
fall
have to live
back.
here. Yeah, I have to live here. My family has to live here, and that's who's important in my house.
Yeah.
Flat out.
See-
I respect that, cuz.
What a lot of people don't know about men is that we go to jail over being disrespected. We die over being disrespected. So it is absolutely the number one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The slightest disrespect will cause two men to go at it and try and kill each other.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's
You know what I'm saying?
you're right.
Especially if it's over a woman or some money.
Yeah.
You just don't play like that. And that's what kind of get me these days. You see women these days, they play the wrong games with men,
Mhm.
feeling like they're empowered because of all this shit they hear out here in the street. It's
Mhm.
like you playing the wrong game. You're not playing with something that's on your level, and somebody told you that he was, and he ain't.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it for me, it's man, shit. Y'all know how I get down. So,
And and the respect factor in a man's domain also falls on his woman and his kids. If you disrespecting me, you're disrespecting my family. You're disrespecting my woman. And I'm not going to allow that.
Mm.
You're going to respect my house because my house is her house. We this.
Mhm.
You can't just pop up at my house. But if my woman ain't this and she this, you're
Mhm.
part of the problem. And I don't
Yeah.
want that.
Right. Right.
Then you
So
call
let
the
me-
ex-girlfriend.
So I got a question. I got a question that ties into the disrespect. So when you having heated arguments as a husband and wife or whatever, and the woman is wrong, women tend to want sympathy when they're wrong. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What do you want from me? That kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But when the man is wrong, we got to get the neck and we got to get the finger and we got to get to all this aggression. And so when we get the aggression, we go to another place. We go to that place of disrespect, like Art was saying. And so it turns us into this defensive dude. Like, dang, did all right, I'm wrong. Dang. So I hope it's not you guys, but how come we got to get all this and all that when we having intense fellowship, when we can just communicate?
That's
We
another
petty.
question.
You said what?
We're petty. Women are petty.
Hold on, let me lean back on that one now, dog. Let me lean
Yeah.
back in the chair now.
I like that answer right there.
I mean,
Woo! That was a touchdown right there.
At least and you know what was crazy? She honest about it too.
Yes.
That's what I like about it, the honesty. She say we petty.
Yes.
Now here's the follow-up question. What's the petty for? If you know, especially because I don't know how you feel about it, especially when the heated discussion gets to the point where the scales of time is starting to favor the man, and that neck really start transforming and start doing all like, you remember the Thriller video? She could doing all like that. When that truth come out, that Thriller come out, you be like this. So why do you get so upset when you wrong? But when we are wrong, not only do we get the neck, we got to get out. You get out my house. All this go.
I'm making more than you anyway.
Yeah. Wow. Right. All that. Right. All that stuff. Like, you take
and you ain't no good in bed.
Right. All that come out.
And I never liked your mama.
All that, everything come out. Y'all, the blows are below the belt. You biting ears off like Tyson. You just low blowing all over the place.
And before you answer the question, dang, comeback point. If you can imagine a man beating a woman, and that is a horrible, hideous thing. But if you turn that card over, when a woman is after a man with her tongue, it is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It is the exact same thing. We can't handle the words that y'all handle. We can't do it. So it's like we're getting beat up on the inside.
Oof.
Well, see, like I said before, there's different levels. Okay, women operate on a totally different level than we do. You see what I'm saying? That's how women get down. They just walk. They're not coming to blows. But what women don't understand is that there is such thing as fighting words, and y'all choose every last one of them y'all can find because that's the only thing you can fight with. But men, we don't fight with words. We just whoop your ass.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Generally speaking,
and I would say physically speaking, this is what happens a whole lot of times. People are like, oh, he was abusing her, but you just said all that shit to him.
Yeah, and you ticked him off, and he
out here struggling as it is, and you think there's not going to be a limit. You don't think you're dealing with a person, somebody that has feelings and go through shit and may need some assistance, may need some help, or just some emotional support.
Okay, all right. Let me just add this. Let me add this too. While y'all answer the question, answer this one too. Why would a woman hit a guy? That makes no sense to me. Why you get so mad that you hit this dude? What is the point in that?
I think
don't want to get hit back though.
Say again, man.
I think it's immaturity because first, number one, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Mm-hmm.
Heated discussion, none of that. You go on your corner, I go on my corner, and let's discuss this later when we both. You know what I'm saying? Like not upset. Because arguing, like you said, your tongue can be like a razor.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't argue because I know me. I'm petty and I'm going to cut below the waist. So I'm just being honest. To prevent that, honestly, I can't remember the last argument I've had. Seriously.
So you don't
If
do
we
it because
can't
you know
discuss
you
it-
get wild. That's why you saying that?
Yeah. And then I think it's just a trait that women have. And that's why I say we're petty, because we are. First of all, we don't want to lose the argument. Second of all, we think we're always right.
Oh.
So it's really no winning in an argument.
I got to lean back in the chair on this one again. Lord have mercy, Lord.
Nate coming with the real. Nate coming with
I
the
always
real.
said the strongest muscle in the body is the tongue because it do the most damage.
Yeah.
I think it's a societal issue too. Like women are, taught to express themselves, to, just say whatever, but men are taught to like, hey, you a man, don't cry, don't show, like control yourself, self-control, you know what I mean? So I think that's another part of it as well.
And the teachers don't coincide with each other. If you telling a woman to be free to say what she want to say, but a man has to refrain, that's chaotic.
That goes against nature.
That's chaotic. That's Ms. Nay brought up a great point. I'm gonna fall back in my corner, you fall back in yours. Let's talk this out. Because at the end of the day, if you say something that you really, really, really regret, you think a man gonna forget that?
Because I'm sure all of us can think of something that was said to us years ago that still resonates in our soul.
Right.
I know I can. Yeah. And the person that said it probably didn't think it was that bad. Yeah. But you receive stuff depending on how you feeling at that moment. And like I said, it can cut you like a knife. And that's so true. That's why I argue. I can't.
Right.
Because I know I've said a lot of stuff that I regret. I know.
Oh, yeah, we all have. Okay, so look at this. Let's go one more question. We're gonna hit a commercial, then we'll come back with our takeaways. Nicole, a takeaway is a couple of things that you've learned throughout this last 90 minutes discussion. Okay, so let's take one more question from the ladies. Go.
I have a question. Can I go, Ms. Nay?
Yes.
Or do you have a question? Okay, so my question is, I want to know, what are some of the battles that men who did not grow up with a strong male figure in a home, like what are the battles that they bring into a relationship? Like if I'm a woman dating a guy who did not have a strong father growing up, like what challenges should I be able to deal with or, look out for or need to support or nurture within that man?
Number one, he's going to be naive. Easy to trick.
Really?
Yes, because his father should show him the ropes. To show him the ropes, not to get tied up, being a girl. It's easy to be. Because I heard a woman say, "Well, I date this guy because he takes me out a lot. And he spends money on me. I take this guy. I go out with this guy because he's romantic." And they got all these guys that bring different factors. So a father should tell his son, this is how you can tell when you this guy or that guy. That's the number one. He's naive. Number two, he can be a little soft. When you yelling at him and he's still coming back and all that stuff, that shouldn't be happening. He should be. That's the number two. He could be soft. Number three, he probably will have a string of heartbreaks, and he's that guy who's going to bring them heartbreaks into a new relationship. So if you can control this dude, you can use this dude and all that. Those are signs that there's no strong male factor in his life.
I would say you definitely should expect him not to know his role. He'll definitely let you make most of the damn decisions.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And if everything got to be up to you, then something's definitely wrong with that nigga, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because a real man, like, I cannot stand being in the passenger seat of the car. Like, I can't stand it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't help that though, because my father always drove, always. You know what I'm saying? So just certain things, just being around a man, he'll show you how to move through life. And the guys that don't have those men, they don't really know how to move through life, and they get caught up with the wrong type of women who will take advantage of them or just use them for certain things. and then they end up getting them pregnant, and then they can't take care of them because they're not moving right in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then we have all this baby mama, baby daddy drama bullshit.
Right.
I mean, I think it's very dangerous for a man to be raised without a man, because women rely on emotion, and they teach the men to rely on emotion, how they feel, instead of what they think.
Right.
And considering how dangerous men are, especially like what we just said, being disrespected, they end up dead in jail. Just I was saying, we die for disrespect, and it's a lot of different reasons why, and that's one of the reasons why. Because you don't want a 250-pound man emotional. You can't do nothing with him. The police show up and they gotta kill him. They can't do shit with him.
Okay.
So
all right, got you. All right.
I think the best thing you could look for. Well, the one thing I'll say, not the best. The one thing you need to look for is how does he carry himself in two places? When you out with him, say a restaurant, or just how he carry himself there, and how he carries himself around his family. And the reason I say that is because you can tell when a man is raised by a majority of women, as opposed to a man being raised by at least one father figure. You can tell. The woman is going to train her son, her nephew, how to treat a woman the way she wants to be treated. A man is going to show him how to treat a woman, period. He's going to show you what's important in life, in love, financially, spiritually, work ethic. Everything is going to be taught by a man. Because most women can't show a man how to work the way a man's supposed to. Most women can't show a man how to address another man, look him in the eye, talk to him, firm handshake. Most women can't do that because they don't know that.
Right.
That's not their job. So when a man goes out for an interview or anything like that, most people can tell how he was brought up.
Instantly.
So when you dive into a relationship with a guy that doesn't have a father, 9 times out of 10, he ain't gonna really start opening up to you right away. Because he don't know how to. All he knows how his mom or whoever raised him of the female side taught him how to do it.
And that's what I was going to say, that he'll open up when you start acting like his mama. When you start being his mama.
Right.
When you mother him.
Yep.
And then you're gonna want a real man, but you got a son.
Yep. And they're not gonna react. They're not gonna react unless you treat them as such.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad because, like I said, as much as my pops worked, though he worked, it was a lot of stuff he taught me, man. As far as you need a hustle. I'm gonna teach you how to paint. You need to do this. This is what a man do. You pay these bills.
Yeah.
You don't let nobody decide. You don't let nobody talk about your woman. I don't care how big they are. That's your wife.
Yeah.
You don't do it. You look a man in the eye and tell him what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different feel from a man that had a dad or uncle who really taught him how to be that type of strong individual, as opposed to a woman who's trying, but honestly, she don't know how. It's not her place to teach her son how to be a man.
No, I always use that Roots, the beginning of Roots. The man took the little boys away from their mamas and taught them how to fight. Because as soon as that mama see their body, they baby get body slammed. Oh my God! Nah, can't do it.
Yeah,
can't do it. So let's do this. Let's take this commercial break because this brother is paying for us to be on the air. So we're gonna show his brother's commercial. We're gonna come back and give our takeaways, and that's gonna be the
I ain't got no check yet.
because it's paying for this.
Oh,
Looking for good homemade cuisine at a reasonable price for your next event? Well, look no further. Hightower Catering. The best caterer in the city is just a dial away. Hightower Catering. Let Chef Hightower and his staff bring good food and good moves to your next social event. Hightower Catering. Hightower Catering has a wide array of cuisine made by his own special seasonings. Hightower Catering does it all. Call Hightower Catering today. Hightower Catering. Good food equals good mood. Hightower Catering. Call Hightower Catering at 313-478-6030. That's 313-478-6030. And find us on Instagram and Facebook. Man, y'all don't know good eating till you have some Hightower Catering salmon.
man,
Oh
look,
my
every
God.
time you put that shit on, I get hungry as hell, man.
Ooh,
I'm hungry
man.
as a motherfucker right
That
now.
brother, I don't know what he did to that salmon, but that stuff, you could be full and you just want to keep eating. Anyway,
And then you gonna say some shit like that. I just told
I
your ass it
love
made me
salmon
hungry.
too, bro.
hey man, that dude. Okay, so look, we're gonna wrap the show up with our takeaways. First, we're gonna go to Miss Nicole, our visitor. And first off, thank you for coming on our show. And tell us when your podcast airs.
Yes, every Wednesday I'm on YouTube. My comfy couch. If you put dating after, you'll find me. The pink logo. I post a new video every Wednesday, and you can find me on Instagram at Comfy Couch Talks.
What time on Wednesday?
It varies. So
So you
You know,
guys,
when you get up that morning, that's what you're trying to say?
you gotta subscribe to the channel so it can tell you when she's live.
thank you. Oh no, not live. They're pre-recorded. I go live
Oh.
about once a month, so that's
okay.
random. But I post an actual recorded video weekly.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll subscribe then.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
We speak about dating relationships.
Yeah.
Okay then. Maybe you can have me on as a guest talk man or something.
Hey.
Oof.
What's your takeaway, Miss Nicole?
You know what? It's the respect thing. I mean, I always hear that men want respect and women want love. But the whole, I think it really hit home when he said about the whole, you'll die for it, you go to jail for it. Like, so I think that's what I'm really take away, like how big respect is for men. That's going to be my takeaway.
Wow. All right,
Yeah.
Miss Nay, what you got? What's your takeaway?
I wrote down my takeaways this time since I won't be on the show anymore.
There go that net. You see that net?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
started that.
You see that net? I won't be on the show anymore. She did that Thriller.
Being taught love comes from the home. A slap can mean two things. Moving on depends on the person. Friends of the opposite sex depends on your spouse. Respect is the most important component in a relationship. You have to have peace at home. Women are petty. It's okay for women to make more than men. If I don't like your mama, I'm going to call her by her first name.
Oh, Lord.
And Art is not as tough as he's trying to portray.
What she say? The last one?
You're not
You're not as tough as you try to act. You
I'm
have
not
a
as tough as I
sensitive
try to
side.
act. Oh, you know what? And you forgot one. Pimping ain't easy.
Oh Lord. Damon, what you taking away from the show?
I think the biggest takeaway I got out of this was the way that men are from whatever planet and women are from another, yet we can still cohabitate and we can still communicate, we can still be around each other, even though we are so very different. Because these questions that we brought up has really given a different perspective as to how I look at not only women, but the fellas, because the things that the ladies brought up made me think like, never thought about it like that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, I get that. Okay. Now I hear it from that perspective. I can see it, may not agree with it. I understand it though.
Mhm.
So the idea that we are so different
Mhm.
and still can cohabitate, it amazes me. You know, I'm tripped out that we can do all this one way and another way, yet we can still come back and be a happy couple or a happy friendship or whatever it is that you're in, even though we different. That's
Mhm.
how I look at it.
All right. Mr. I ain't playing with you ninjas tonight. What's your takeaway?
You know I ain't playing with y'all, nigga. You know that. My takeaway. You know, I'm gonna have to just echo everything Miss Nay said. As my takeaway, because I mean, she went right down the list, and I'm trying to tell you right now, the only thing she missed was pimping ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, she been on point today, and I just been leaning back on her ass a couple times today because she just been on point. And I have to go with what she said because, I'll say this to what Damon said. It is good that we can do stuff still, even though we seem to have a lot of challenges across the board.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some of us out here that are getting it right.
Mm-hmm.
I think the more we talk about these type of things, the more people might get it right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even when it come down to maybe kind of like silly ass questions like, well, why y'all like to get slapped and not like to get slapped? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to make you say, wait a minute. It is something else to it. It is some layers to it. You know, I'm not saying I want to slap people. Okay. I don't want to slap
you do.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, you do.
If I got to go to Meyer, I got to go to Meyer. But I don't think Nicole know what that is. You know what that is? Going to Meyer?
No.
Okay, well,
leave it alone, Miss Nicole.
You don't want to know Nicole. It's another can of worms that he's trying to open.
Yeah,
that's just where I go to slap people. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's all it is. But yeah, I think that, you know, if we can keep doing stuff like this, things might get a little better for us. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So my takeaway is number one, if you are getting into a relationship, it's a serious thing. You got people's feelings involved. You got people's emotions involved. You don't want to tamper that because you can damage people. Don't get into a relationship if you're not in it for the relationship. Now, if you're in your exploratory phase and you see that there's some red flags that you're not going to deal with, politely end it. You know, you'll save everybody's time, money, and emotions and feelings. That's number one. Number two is what I said before. If you find somebody that's compatible and they do it for you, notice how they fill your voids.
They do it for you. Yeah.
If they fill your voids to the point where you're like, man, I needed help here. I need it. And she is doing this for me. That can be the thing that you build a relationship on. And be open to your voids. Be open to your voids and say, hey, I needed help here. You coming in. And it is a reciprocal thing. If I see you have a void here, I have a strength in this. And if you both have voids, then you work together to strengthen each other while you support each other while you strengthen each other. And it takes work. Who says it doesn't take work? But that is the commitment that makes a relationship work. That is it right there. So that's my takeaway from the whole deal. I'd like to thank my guest, my very special guest, Miss Nicole from My Comfy Couch.
Thank you.
And my good friend, Miss Nay. Miss Nay, who always go on vacay. I appreciate you guys, and we will have you guys back for real. Definitely, we will have.
Yeah, Miss Nay, we'll have you back because we don't want you over there acting mean and shit.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
And we definitely gonna have Nicole back because Nicole brought some fire today. She brought
she did.
Yeah,
she get a half lean. She get a half lean today.
Oh.
She brought some real good questions, man.
Yes.
I just don't know you like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Gotta be careful these days.
Boy, I tell you. So I want to thank everybody in the who left a comment. There was a ton of them. Man, it was just everybody. Keela B, Chris, Malvina, Sheila, Misha, Adrian, Chris. It was this last lady down here, Ayada, Miss
Or Layla.
Camila.
It
That's
might be
my
Layla.
daughter.
Everybody, Maddie, everybody that came with a comment, and everybody who watched the show who did not give a comment, I want to say thank you too. So until the next time we see you guys, peace and God bless.
Indeed.